Hi, this is Cinderchord here. This is a short guide to how to play Mage, Fire Mage. The fight is Stoneguard Heroic. It's pretty much the best fight to showcase Mage Cleave DPS. As you can see, what I started off with, there's a couple of macros I use for my burst DPS. So the first thing you need to do is start doing invocation as soon as you get like a 10 or a 12 count. Sometimes, 12 count is a little bit better because you can get a full pyro at the end, but what we do is we have invocation is sort of like a 5.5 second cast. Then you want to do your first macro, which includes mirror images and pots, so Jade Serpent. As soon as that's taken off, you want to start sort of hard casting pyro, and the boss will probably become active about half a second before your pyro hits. At that stage, if you're lucky and you get heating up, then basically smack Inferno Blast straight away, and that will allow you to get your first active pyro. Then you want to do your second macro, which is sort of Presence of Mind, Alter Time, Pyro Blast, stop casting, then times that again, so same thing again. So you fit this into a macro, cast Presence of Mind, cast Alter Time, cast Pyro Blast, cast stop casting, and that's the sort of dash on my keybinds. And you do that twice, so you spam that one, and if you're lucky you can get something like between 50 and 100k combustion tick or ignite tick, and that will multiply, of course, so you can get some pretty serious damage, especially like you saw at the start. We had the 4 bosses grouped up for cleaving, and that really does showcase Mage and Rogue DPS in particular. So that's pretty much how you start the fight. Pretty straightforward. It's quite easy to get to the top. On fights like Elegon, you can do something like 500, 600, 700k DPS easily. I've done 1,000,000k for about 30 seconds at one stage. I think I was really lucky and I got something like 8 or 9 pyros in a row. It's like the first time ever. And that doesn't happen often, so don't get used to that sort of damage. But this fight's nice because it's constant cleave. Really important you keep your living bomb up all the time, and try to time your cleaving of living bomb with active heating up and having an available Inferno Blast, because if you can do that, then you're basically doing 2 things at once and you're maximising DPS. See there, like, I didn't need to do living bomb because I had it beforehand, but you can sort of wait and cast a fire in between if you want to. The thing about this class, it is quite easy to play Fire Mage. It's not easy to play a great Fire Mage. That's what sort of separates the players. In our guild, we've got 3 pretty good mages. It's the kind of class where there's not that much to learn, but where there is to learn is like really fully maximising what you get out of the class. I would say that you really should be spending like a couple of hours looking into this if you want to start playing Mage. You need to really go in there having a good idea, otherwise just sort of don't bother, because with Fire, I mean, unless you've got sort of like 490 item leveled, you won't really do a lot of DPS unless you know what you're doing. In this fight, actually, I didn't have the Force set, and having the Force set is pretty damn good because it reduces your cooldown on combustion. I didn't have that, which is a bit of a shame because my DPS would be a lot higher at the end because I get an extra combustion out of that. But in short fights like Stoneguard, it isn't really going to make that much difference unless they're all stacked up again at the end. So other than that, as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. I'm lucky in this fight because I'm not getting chained for quite a long time. I will get chained later, but basically if you don't have to move around, this is like superb. And if you're not on top of this fight as a mage, you've got no excuse, you're shit. Simple as that. You really need to be on top. The only classes that will be giving you trouble are probably warlocks or rogues, maybe a DK, but it depends on their skill, to be honest. It's difficult for them to beat a mage unless they're very good players, because the cleave, you just can't beat combustion. It's amazing, especially on the start. If someone's beating you on start and you've got half decent combustion / ignite tick, then you know, you're doing something wrong basically. So at this stage, the DPS I'm doing is not bad. It could be a bit more. I think it's mainly because I was probably a little bit unlucky with the amount of damage my pyros were adding to the ignite. Also remember that in this fight you get bonus damage from the tiles, so you will always do less from your burst damage initially than if you had, you know, 100 tiles or 100% damage increase from the tiles. So you know, you should in theory do a shit ton of DPS when you've got 100 tiles, and you know, all your cooldowns are free. That's like awesome if you can get to that sort of situation if you time everything right. So at this stage, boss is nearly killed. As you can see, I'm quite comfortably ahead. It's pretty easy to play really. You just need to read up and make sure that you understand the finer things about the class, timing, talents, specification, that kind of thing. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed the guide. Thank you very much for listening.